You have family members who are here. They're going through the wreckage right now, sifting through the rubble, trying to see what they can salvage. Across the United States, first responders are seeing shortages in staffing, and it's also happening in Columbus. Coroner Buddy Bryan telling us the person who was shot and killed may have been coming through the window and was shot by the person on the inside of the home.
Well, we bought a few gifts today because we are celebrating our friend's birthday.
Well, you can learn more about Ernie's run at coasttocoastruns.com. We wish him well. A major milestone reached at the National Infantry Museum. Today, they welcomed their 3 millionth visitor, 10 years after opening their doors. And as you can see on your screen, everyone was excited to welcome him in. Babies like Dalen, born in February of this year, that makes it all worth the while for the Malones to make that trip from the Columbus, Phoenix City area down here to Eufaula. It's such a hard time, but of course Alabama will stand strong and get through this situation, and it's all about coming together to help. And if you would like to donate, we have a vehicle that you can do that as well. Let's talk weather now. As you step out the door, you may need a light jacket. Temperatures are still on the cool side, right, Dylan? Columbus police, they are still saying this is a very active scene as we are here right now. I'm going to step out of the scene so you can see what's happening here. There are cars parked in the middle of the road. We're at Elizabeth Canty Apartments on Casita Road in South Columbus. But today, NFL Hall of Famer Michael Strahan came to Columbus for the Bob Wright Symposium for Business Empowerment. Before speaking to the sold-out crowd, Strahan sat down with me for an exclusive interview. We've seen a lot of athletes take that trek from sports to broadcasting, maybe sports broadcasting, but for you, you were one of the few who went to news broadcasting. How did that happen for you?
Yeah, you can answer that for me because I don't know.
Wow, that's dizzying just kind of thinking about it.
That's why I don't think about it.
Exactly.
I think I'm crazy when I think about it.
Absolutely. What would you say to athletes who look at you and you're their role model, but they're trying to figure it all out too? They want to play NFL sports, but then also they got to think about life after. Shouting erupting in the Alabama Senate as lawmakers talked about the abortion bill. It would ban nearly all abortions. News 9's Lydia Nussbaum tells us what caused the heated exchange. Across the United States, first responders are seeing shortages in staffing, and it's also happening in Columbus with the city's fire and police departments. News 9's Samantha Serban joining us now live from the Public Safety Building. And Samantha, tell us more about the reason behind these vacancies. All right, Samantha, thank you very much. A domestic dispute in Columbus last night, sending a person to the hospital and another to jail. Police say a male was shot around 11 last night at the Greystone at Inverness apartment complex on Old Moon Road. He was shot in the lower back, but is expected to be okay. A female was taken into custody for that shooting. We are learning new details about the students who helped take down an alleged active shooter at a Colorado school this week. Meanwhile, a vigil held at the school last night erupted in protests after politicians stepped up to address the students. Zoreen Shaw has more. There is a push to protect local children from the threat of human trafficking. Schools like Shaw High in Columbus are teaching and training students to better understand how minors can be tricked into becoming victims. Micah's Promise is partnering with Georgia's statewide trafficking task force to visit school systems K through 12. Sounds good there. Micah's Promise has set out a campaign to build a therapeutic treatment facility which will serve girls who have fallen victim in Georgia. And tonight you're watching that line of systems coming from the west could impact Columbus tonight. Yeah, good advice, Derek. Thank you.
All right.
Jealousy, competition, and fighting are part of growing up with brothers and sisters, but in some cases, conflict between siblings is aggressive and can be harmful. Jessica Sanchez has more on recognizing a bully in the family, the harm they can cause, and what parents can do to minimize the risk. Or the bedroom cinema. I can see people falling asleep in there, and then we'll be watching them.
Yeah, and I mean, you're dropping popcorn, you're spilling soda. Like, who has to clean all that stuff up?
Nice idea, but I don't know how much that's going to work. An unbelievable scene for family members arriving to Tip Top Drive in Columbus Wednesday afternoon. This woman visibly upset, yelling out, "She killed my dad. She killed my dad."
Found the subject with a gunshot wound to the chest, 55-year-old Caucasian male, John Allport.
Coroner Buddy Bryan telling us the person who was shot and killed may have been coming through the window and was shot by the person on the inside of the home. Homicide detectives spending hours combing the scene for evidence, officers jotting down details. But so far, they've not released anything about how the shooting unfolded or why.
They knew each other, and that's as far as we'll go with that.
Major Hawk did say both people lived in the home, but their relationship is still unclear. In the meantime, neighbors are left feeling uneasy.
As far as I know, they lived here maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
I would never think that would have happened on this street. It's been a real quiet street, so I wouldn't have expected that to happen.
Neighbor Timothy McCoy, only 16 years old, says he'll keep the family in his prayers, and he's asking everybody to do the same.
In Columbus, Roslyn Giles for WTVM News Leader 9.
He said he paying off our student loans. Yes, sir.
With joy and excitement, that's Morehouse 2019 graduate Michael Bonds on Snapchat, telling his friends what this man, whom he'd never seen before, had just announced to his class.
And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
Billionaire philanthropist Robert K. Smith literally changed Michael's life that day, May 19, 2019, vowing to pay off his tuition debt and nearly 400 other Morehouse graduating seniors. For Michael, his sum total is about $99,000 in student loans.
Everyone was hugging, jumping for joy, dapping each other up. It was great. It just kind of like solidified that this was our moment and we're all here together.
After graduating from Northside High School in Columbus in 2015, Michael says his mother told him to try an HBCU. He says he was hesitant at first, but decided to go on a visit to the prestigious all-men's school in Atlanta.
And it just felt like home from there, so that's what made me decide on Morehouse, their culture.
But little did Michael know that one decision would pay big dividends on graduation day, with the sea of hats and gowns embarking on the best graduation gift, $40 million combined.
Michael and the Morehouse class of 2019 were so moved by Dr. Smith's tuition gifts that they decided to pay it forward. Now they're planning to help this year's incoming freshmen.
Everyone in the class of 2019 has vowed to, has pledged $100 to a freshman books scholarship to help the incoming freshmen pay for their books.
In Atlanta, Roslyn Giles for WTVM News Leader 9.
With equipment and staff in tow, Columbus's very own Dr. Thomas Malone and son, Dr. Thomas Michael Malone, all pile into this SUV every Tuesday, headed for Eufaula, Alabama, from their Phoenix City office.
About a year ago, we were looking at an opportunity to kind of service our patients that were coming a great distance away.
That distance from Eufaula to Columbus, about 100 miles round trip.
Because this is my second time, and the first time I had my baby, I had to go all the way to Columbus to get seen, so this is awesome. Save a lot of gas and a lot of time.
The reason? The last time Eufaula had an obstetrician was in the 80s, until the Malones set up shop here.
It's babies like Dalen, born in February of this year, that makes it all worth the while for the Malones to make that trip from the Columbus, Phoenix City area down here to Eufaula.
If you can meet people where they are, you can reduce that number.
He's real friendly and he understanding and he's patient.
Biggest reward I get is when a patient is happy that she's coming to us. She's having a good experience.
Hello, world.
Columbus's first black OBGYN, Dr. Thomas Malone, came on the scene in 1978. He's now preparing to celebrate his 50th reunion at Meharry Medical College in Nashville. And in 2006 is when his son joined the practice.
He's a trailblazer.
But as long as I feel good, as long as I can do what I do based on my experience, my training, then I'll continue to do it.
In Eufaula, Roslyn Giles for WTVM News Leader 9.